Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Jesus, 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 Jesus. Srila Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga. Nityananda, 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 Gauranga. Nityananda, 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 Gauranga. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga. Nityananda, 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 go. Nityananda, Nityananda, go. Nityananda, Nityananda, go. Nityananda, Nityananda. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh my Lord, sweet Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Oh my Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama. Oh my Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I was thinking of this prayer, with Jesus. He was praying, and I totally get it. I just like, yeah, that's just how it is. He was praying to the Lord because he was seeing that the people that were coming were just simple people, usually. Not, it's open to everybody, and some intelligent people would come, but a lot of simple people would come. And he said, "Oh Lord, it is right that you reveal the kingdom." I'm going to find the verse. It's really amazing. But that's exactly when it's whenever deliverance is here for people into this spiritual kingdom. It's usually like that. Well, it's always really. It starts like that. The simple people come. The cripples, the downtrodden. You know, the ones who are nothing special in the world, in the eyes of the world. See, but they're special to God, and that's why he comes to those kind of people. Because they surrender to the truth easily, and because, yes, I really notice this because I have this friend that talking with, and he's sort of interested, but he thinks it's kind of silly what we're doing, kind of looks, it looks like it's not polished. I mean, you look on Facebook, these guys are so polished. Everybody, they're just their videos are just like pucka, and here we're just doing this off the wall stuff. It's not polished at all. I mean, They look at this, they say, there can't be any merit to what you guys are doing. Look how simple it is. You got this lady hooked on a machine over there, laughing and crying, and this other one that's really laughing and crying all the time when they're chanting, and they think, what is going? Nobody's doing that. It's not polished. You just sit in front of a camera, or anybody here that's getting the mercy. So it's hard for people to see, but it's always been like this. It was like this with Jesus when these fishermen, I mean, simple persons coming, even the tax collector his heart was attracted. And in Lord Chaitanya's time, same thing. Especially when Nityananda, he was the savior, considered the savior of the crippled, the retards, and the householders, the simple people. Yeah, is this? Yeah, the really simple people. They get delivered first, and the others, because of the pride. It's that pride thing. Yeah. Okay, come on. That's enough, Karuna. Stop putting. I want to. I'm talking now. I have to divert my attention to this stuff. Why don't you just listen? Just stop. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Um, um, this is way too real. Yeah, that's enough pop-ups there. I don't want to. I'm getting in the flow here, and then you just get me off track in that way. There you go. Thank you. You tell him there, Lalita. This is the way too real to be polished. Polish things just for show. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's what it. They a lot of these things. Even the people they have teleprompters for these people on Facebook. You think they're like spontaneous and they're just, but they're reading off a lot of them are reading off a teleprompter. Can you believe that? You know? Yeah. Mm. Yeah. So it's because they people they look. It's all in the world. It's about looking good. It's not being good. See, being good and being it's and when and taking it beyond that, being transcendental. This is being trans. If you notice, this is the nature of God is like that. You look at Lord Chaitanya; he shows the true nature of himself. That one in his manifestation is everywhere and everything, but the way himself is very soft, very ecstatic. He cries and he laughs. He actually loves his devotees. His devotees love him, and they're like emotional. It's like you ever see emotional women. They're really emotional. But this is the pure stuff. This is not that. You know, the emotions in the modes of nature, which is. You have to go. If you're too emotional, you have to go to therapy. You notice that? People that are too emotional, they go to therapy because it's too much. You know, this is my experience seeing people. If they get too emotional, they just it's a problem. They don't like the Ross. That's what it comes down to. It messes them up, messes with their minds. They can't make proper decisions, choices. They get involved in the wrong things. Yeah, you see. But when you're too emotional for God, what happens? You get intelligence. It's a miracle. When you have this emotional relationship with the Lord, this communion, yeah, it's amazing. It's just like what Jesus had. This is amazing. I'm sitting here realizing, man, I really getting Jesus. I said, yeah, I get it. I get it. He was doing this kind of communion with God. His whole preaching was from that. Just like this is also, it's just that's the way of devotees. You get this special mercy. You can communicate with God, the Almighty One, the All Sweet One. He becomes the all very, friend. Your intimate friend one. He reveals so many wonderful things. What a great thing, to have a great friend like the Lord. So for you people looking for polish, that's all you get is just a polished shell, no depth. Yeah, and they have these big studios. These people that are on Facebook, they spend all this money for this big studio so they can have a polished show with nice backgrounds and all that. And people, and they get lots of thousands of likes. See, this is the world. We're in this big illusion, man. And here we're lucky if we get 10 or 15 people. We get thousands coming, to see the polished show. See, people are attracted to the externals. See, we're attracted to the internal situation. Isn't it interesting? This internal relationship with God. And people looking at, well, that's not very polished. Yeah, it's not. Vrindavan is not very polished, man. It's very informal, man. It's like you kick back on pillows instead of all these chairs and nice chairs with ornamentations and all that. Kick back and pillows. Kind of a hippie scene. It's a hippie happy scene. Watch out for Karuna today. He's on a roll.
I like what Amy is saying. This is way too real to be polished. Polished
Yeah,
things
yeah,
are just for show, not for actual use. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. For show, not for actual use. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking of sending one of our videos because the guy says, "Send me some videos." And I'm thinking, well, which one should I send? But they're also unpolished. I thought, well, I don't know if he'll appreciate our unpolished style, improv. Yeah, let's read from Caitanya Devotees here. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see here. Oops. What's this? There we go. New window. Yeah, same thing for the Vaishnavas. They also look at this because it's not polished enough. They also have the pomp, and the style is stylized. This is our style. This is our style. It's Vrindavan style. All right, so where is this conversion of? Oh, is that in the? Maybe it's in Anshula Adilila. Let's see here. Oh, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hey, Johan, where is? Oh, here it is. Liberation of Sarvabhauma. Yeah, I want to read that one there. Liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Mm-hmm.
What chapter is that, Guru Maharaj?
Oh, yeah, this is chapter um, Madhya chapter 6.
Madhya Leela. I was looking in Adi. Okay.
Yeah. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Gaurachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who converted the hard-hearted Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the reservoir of all bad logic, into a great devotee. See, into a great devotee. See, because with devotion, that's where we get real intelligence. He was he was a Mayavadi type. He was studying impersonalism. About energies and oneness with the Brahman God. That kind of thing. But he was still considered the reservoir of all bad logic. Everybody is. Nobody has proper understanding. The bad logic. You can't be logical. That's why I love this path. This has convinced me from following all these other paths. And and when I always come back to this path of relish, which I had from the very beginning. And it was more just to compare things. And I realized the path of relish, you get everything you want to. People are trying independently to develop things, and it's so hard. You want to be a good speaker, you got to go to Toastmasters, and it's a lot of discipline, and it's hard. And then you just become a good, superficial, polished speaker, but it's all superficial. Okay? You become a devotee. And you get the essence of everything. You speak and what you speak has real substance, even though people they're attached to unsubstantial things cannot understand you because they have bad logic. Even Sarvabhauma, until he was converted and purified, he could not understand the value of Lord Chaitanya and the devotees. He was proud. I thought he was smarter, and the devotees were too simple. They're just sitting there. Devotees are in this path of relish. They get everything from transcendental mellow exchanges with God in the form of his name and his book and his words. They get everything extract everything from that, just like God does. Lord gives us the potency to do what he does. He came to teach us how to do what he does. But see, for the world, it's too simple. It's too simple to be happy. But you get everything by being a devotee. See, the Lord, this is what the point was Jesus coming across. He was not a lettered man. He never studied to become a great Bible scholar, but he became the greatest scholar because why? He was a devotee of the Lord. People have to know that. Devotee of the what Lord, Yeah. Look how people become unintelligent, becoming a devotee of Lucifer. They're actually, Luciferians, Satan worshippers. They're devotees of Lucifer. And look what it does. Because it's Maya, it makes you twisted. What do they call perverted? See, you become perverted like the Maya, the illusion. This straightens you out. This is why this is, this is this. The Lord will straighten anybody out. You would just come into him, come into a society of devotees, man, and then get straightened out. Reservoir of bad logic, man. And that's basically that's less. See, that's another reason. Like I got a tour of all the different sanghas, in the Vaishnavas, and many of them, and I could see, okay, well, who has the best intelligence? People saying, well, look at ISKCON. So I went and looked at ISKCON, and I could see. And then they say, oh well, look at Narayan Raj. They must have the best intelligence because they're purebhakti.com and all this, and he's celebrated as the greatest acharya, the successor of Prabhupada. Well, let's go check it out. Okay? But I found they didn't have the intelligence one gets by being a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. That is the preaching of Prabodhananda Saraswati. That's what she read this morning. That's why he says pathetic is everything. He could tell. See, he could tell the difference, even from devotees of Krishna and Radha. He could tell if they were not devotees of Lord Chaitanya, they didn't have the kind of devotional intelligence, the depth that of being the devotee of Lord Chaitanya. See, because he is the incarnation for a reason. of this age, not Radha and Krishna. Remember, Sachi had a dream where she dreamed of there were her deities there, Radha and Krishna, or no, Krishna and Balaram, and then she had Gaur and Nitai, and they were fighting. They were fighting, and Gaur and was it Nitai said to Krishna and Balaram, he says, get off the throne. We're the Kali Yuga. What? It's your time is over. Your time is over. We're here. We're the avatars for Kali Yuga. These offerings are for us. So they had this little playful fight, and because that's the thing. If you become a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, your depth of worship of Radha and Krishna is deepened. And I've seen this. I've been to Vrindavan. I've seen people that weren't really devotees of Lord Chaitanya, or put very little emphasis and more emphasis on Radha and Krishna. And I saw the depth of their understanding was more shallow, less. And that's what I found with the Narayan Raj groups also. Their depth of understanding and their logic and their intelligence is not of the stature of people very deep into Lord Chaitanya, because automatically you get the love of Radha and Krishna, and then you can go there and you really get them deep. You understand the minds of the church, just like here. You see, you guys are believing in this simpleton here, this unpolished person. Okay? But look what you got for that. Okay? And this is what people, they're all looking for the external polish, and it's like a prop. Same thing with gurus. You go to these Vaishnava religions, you're looking for the most polished sannyasi and guru, right? You go there. Okay, who's the most polished? Nobody ever asks, who chants the Hare Krishna mantra with the greatest ecstasy? That's the greatest polish. They don't know that. How come they never ask that? Even in the Narayan Raj thing. Well, let me go and choose a guru. And nobody's ever thinking in that Narayan Raj group that's supposed to be purebhakti.com. Thank you very much for your service over there. Thank you. Because it's really makes good points. It's the whole point. Thank you. You're a Bhagavatam example, because this is a living Bhagavatam thing happening here. See? So, yeah, so nobody's asking these important questions like, oh, yeah, all right, where's the association I'm looking? Where's an associate of Lord Chaitanya? Who chants the Hare Krishna mantra, showing that they got the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, where they're so deep into it, tears are pouring out of their eyes, they're jumping out of their skin practically, laughing like mad women or madmen. Where is that kind of associate of the Lord? Where is that kind of guru? Oh, well, they're all in there. Just believe us. They're all in there. Oh, they're all like that. Oh, yeah, they're all like that. Oh, okay. I'm a blind believer. Yeah. Let me just go and give my whole life and energy and time to there, because they say, oh, yeah, we're like that. Like what? Oh, well, like, ecstatic. They use the word everywhere in ISKCON and all that. They're ecstatic. We're ecstatic. Well, what does that look like? Oh, yeah, look like you're at a rock concert or something. That's ecstatic. Okay, well, kind of looks, maybe it is. I don't know.
No vibrations.
Nobody asks the important. They don't know what to ask. See, they're not truly logical yet. They're very much like in the world still. That's why Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion and surrender to me. See, if you're really surrendered to the Lord, well, it's going to show. It's going to show you're going to be so close to the Lord that you're going to be ecstatic like the Lord. You're going to be Satchitananda also because of that communion, And then you'll from that spiritual master, what happens in the song everybody's singing every day for 40 years? Ecstatic prema emanates. See? And by their word, by their realization, by their understanding, by their personal experience of God, your ignorance is destroyed, because they're the most logical, most clear, most intelligent persons, because they're a real devotee. with real devotion and real ecstasy of that relationship. This people don't know. See, that's why they have to depend. In Maya, you have to depend on her props. You have to depend on the Dodi, on the Tilak, instead of depending on the truth, depending on the relish, depending on transcendental mellows like the Lord showed. That's why you got to have another living devotee showing what the Lord did, showing that they're relishing his name and proving it. It's time for lay those cards on the table. Let's see. You have a pair of deuces, don't you? No. We got a straight flush, man. Yeah, we were ecstatic, man. Yeah, we are deep into it. Look at our eyes. You see me holding it back. Well, I don't know. Maybe you are. Maybe who knows? I don't know. But how does it benefit me, man? And then I see their logic is not. It's not as good as this. Not as good as that's I had only one standard, and it's not as good as you guys getting ecstatic love of God. Must be real if it's being transferable, man. Must be like Jesus kind of gave the Holy Spirit to people who believed in his word. You're believing in the word of this crazy guy wearing a t-shirt, and you guys are saying, wow, this is fantastic, man. I like this. Well, great to have company now. Now I have some friends. Yeah, that's why I could never relate into these religious movements. I liked Krishna. I think there's a lot of people like that. People they're attracted to Krishna. They're attracted to Prabhupada's books, but then they get the change up. You know the change up. They used to do this in ISKCON. It's called the change up. They seem to give you something and you get something else. See, that's what because you got to represent those books ultimately. Otherwise, people, they lose faith and they think, oh, it's like this guy, he's coming and he says, I ain't going to believe in anybody being an in-between. I've seen too much. See, you've seen too much bullshit out there because nobody represents this. And I told him, I said, listen, this is the real deal. Give it some time, check it out, look at the people getting the benefit. And it's just like, because he says, well, I like that relationship Arjuna had with Krishna. I'm not going to go to anybody out there to get it. See, because he's intelligent and say, oh, man, this bullshit going on. This religion are motivated religious leaders who don't know the real standard. Or if they do, they know they can't come up to it, so they have to get a checklist so that they can keep their position. This is for children. You're childish. It's not mature, is it? Yeah, it's not mature. You're getting immature gurus, who are not mature. Not mature in their understanding. You know how you get mature? You get a real father and mother. You get a real spiritual master and get shiksha. Because, Prabhupada couldn't do all that kind of work for everybody. He had thousands of disciples, and they're all beginners. And practically all the leaders wanted positions. The two best ones, left the planet while he was here even. Can you imagine? The two best ones of the whole bunch. To save them some heartache from what was going to come, Could you imagine those guys after, what happened with that group? Prabhupada said that when a spiritual master leaves, there's havoc in this thing, generally, but not always. There wouldn't be havoc here. You guys know too much. You guys experience too much of God. You know what is pure and you know what is impure. Only ecstatic love is really pure and everything else is pathetic, right there, Lalita? Pathetic in comparison, because nobody else knows. Okay? Prabhupada had 11 successors, right? Or so-called. Jesus had 11 also. What's the difference? The difference, they made it. They got the Holy Spirit. It purified their heart. See? The difference, there wasn't even one successor got the spirit of devotion. It's same thing with Bhakti Siddhanta. There wasn't even one, not even one, except Prabhupada,
En
and that's why.
Govinda.
Well, he came later.
Govinda.
Yeah, that's later. I'm talking about. Yeah, talking about later. Yeah. So, um, yeah. So in Bhakti Siddhanta, there was only Prabhupada who had this kind of pure heart. Blessed are the pure in heart; they shall see God, and they will be empowered by the Lord to do something substantial in this world, like deliver people. That's substance, man. Like awaken. See, because of their purified heart. And how does the heart get purified? By Brahman principles? No, it doesn't. That's why Prabodhana says, pathetic is that. Pathetic if your heart is still impure. It's not enough just to be a Brahmin. See? So even our books, look at Daksha, he was a Brahmin. Look at the guru of Bali Maharaj, he was a Brahmin. Can you imagine, raise the dead bodies, and raise them to life in the modes of nature? See, that's not very extraordinary. See? But raising Krishna in people, now that is something. Now that's raising the dead to life, the walking dead. Jesus was one of those. Lord Chaitanya was one of those, and we're like that too. You notice we raise the walking dead here. No dead bodies. Even the Lord raised a dead body once. And the guy said, okay, well, great, thank you. He was already a devotee, and then he went on. He didn't raise the dead body to stay alive. He raised, Krishna and the person he's perfect, and then he went back to Godhead. See, like here, the beauty is it's very much like Jesus preaching. You're all being raised here, not taking from the planet. You notice that? You don't have to be here. You're kept here simply because to help others, and I'm sure many of you want to. Because who's going to help these people? These religious groups can't deliver them. They don't even have the right idea yet. Okay? So that's how deliverance comes where the Lord is working. That's why the Lord wants to show his extraordinary work. Isn't this pretty extraordinary, him working through us little fools here? Us persons not touting that we're so great, considering ourselves ordinary, but the Lord's potency is here. Isn't that pretty amazing, actually, thinking about it? We're doing what polished people can't do. All their polish, all that money they spend on their studios, and on their buildings to impress others, on their degrees, going to schools to impress others. Ooh, he's a PhD Vaishnava. Ooh, he's he's got a beautiful saffron cloth. So the moral of this story here is basically come to the real devotees who are actually have the devotional potency in their heart. That's the only practical way to get it. Learn from them how to be a devotee and stay with them forever. Forever, their whole life. If you ever leave, you just go back into illusion. There's no intelligence in that. Why would you leave an oasis? You come into this material universe and there's an oasis somewhere floating out there in infinity. You find it. And now you get life there. There's water there. There's happiness there. You got the palm trees and the shade and everything. Why would you leave the oasis and go back into the desert? See, that means you don't have purified intelligence. I don't have any problem being here for the rest of my life. I don't have any problem having you as friends for the rest of my life. Why? If anybody does, you are definitely have impure intelligence. You're not understanding things properly. You're not understanding, hey man, I found the oasis in the desert. I actually found real friends. in the world. The real friend here in this world, there's only one. And it's a friend of God. If you're one of those, you're that one friend people need. One that God has made friends with. There's no enmity between that person and the Lord. That's what they talk about in the Bible. Jesus came to stop the enmity between man and God. There's enmity. Man hates God. I don't care who in religion. I just go do Harinam in Mayapur and I could see who still hates God, has hatred in their heart. They look, their lips curl. Hey, what are you doing? I don't like this. And they wear their nice sannyasi and brahmachari orange. Then I said, this person hates God, see hatred in their heart. I can see that. A lot of people, they take initiation from those kind of people who still have hatred for God. Hatred for God is you don't like the representative of Satchidananda. What did they do to Gaur Govinda in that sense? They gave him so much trouble. They would ban him from coming into the countries and stuff like that. They would tell, give all kinds of trouble simply because he had a close, intimate relationship with Krishna. Okay? In other words, these are your leaders, you fools out there in ISKCONs and all. These are your leaders. They're still, their hearts are impure because they didn't show right in your own thing. They never showed any honor to Gaur Govinda until he passed on and he was out of the picture. Oh, then they build the big tombs, just like Jesus said. He nailed them and everybody else like that in religion. That's why I abandon religion when you find the truth. Because it's full of motives, material motives, and lies, and they can't help it because the hearts are not purified. Why be in a place like that? Jesus taught that, and this is in the scriptures. He says, you kill the prophets, and then you build nice tombs for them afterwards. The same thing, the same consciousness. It's illusion. You serve. How long you want to serve illusion? You want to be. You want those kind of persons as your masters. How long do you want that? Or do you want to come to unpolished association? Where people really have this closeness with God. God comes amongst us, in the midst of us, for somehow or other, huh? Isn't that amazing? It's like you can relate to in Vrindavan, and the cowherd boys say, how does Krishna warrant a birth amongst us? We're just ordinary persons. Why does he have attraction for us? Well, don't we have the same situation as here? Why do we get Krishna coming every day? And we know that, many of us, maybe not everybody. I mean, who are we to have that? Same situation. See, in these religious groups, you know what they're thinking? They don't even have that in the thinking. Wow, we're really cool people, man. We're really smart. We're really intelligent. Look at us. We got all these worshipers. We're really close to God. That's what they're thinking. Look, this is proof. See, they got all the props. They think, well, look at this. I'm sannyas. I got my rubber stamp. And they told me I'm Guru Dev to go out and deliver your disciples. We'll give you some money, get them to collect for you, and you can look important. Just go from place to place and they'll give you dandavats. Okay? And they're all on the same platform. They're just playing guru and playing follower. It's all a play, superficial. Here, this is the real thing. What the book is, Arjuna says, oh, Guru Dev, Krishna was his guru. Man, you're my, he said, Krishna says, yeah, you're my disciple, my friend. Therefore, I'm going to reveal these secrets of bhakti that'll make you really happy. Okay? So that same situation is always here. Wasn't that here when Jesus was here? You don't think his disciples loved hearing from Jesus? They stayed with him for 3 years to hear with him. They were so infatuated with the truth because they were his disciples and friends. He even said, now you came as my servants and now you are my friends. Do you think that's any different now? It's always the bona fide thing. When Krishna is working through somebody, it's always the same. You know that yourselves. Yeah, man, that's how it is, man. I listen to my guru because you're my disciple and my friends. You're getting to hear things that they can't hear from 1,000 of those Acharya Devs or Radhanas, all these people that are praising them. You're hearing what they can't even hear. They can't, even if they were here, they wouldn't hear it. They'd be hearing something else. Okay? Is only given in parampara, real guru with real disciples. And you guys are showing that are really getting this, are showing that you're real disciples. And what do you get? The real Krishna. And you know it, right? And that's your witness in this world. You show people you got the real Krishna. You got the real transcendental relish the book is praising. Why? They don't even understand that. They don't understand that the devotee that's truly advanced in devotional service relishes mellows. And a lot of you are doing that. River's doing that. Lalita's doing that. Johan's doing that. Govinda's doing that. And Janaki's doing that. And so many others. Freddie's doing that. Francis is doing that. Rade is doing that. And none of us are perfect. Isn't that is the miracle? The Lord is not incapable. He's just looking who's receptive. Who's receptive to his Satchitananda presence? You know, they get it first. And they're present, and that's how the Lord humbles these big sannyasis, where they see, my God, these big sannyasis and gurus can't speak and know what these kinds of devotees know. Eventually they get humbled. They realize, oh, it's about empowerment. These persons, as simpletons as they are, they're empowered, man. The Lord shows their intelligence is different than study of the Vedas that way. No, I study the name. I just tasting that name. That's where the power comes. If you can't do that, you got no spiritual power. You got no, see that? You know, when you got money, wealth, it's like that. Well, you got to have taste, man. It's like that's the wealth, man. You got the spiritual taste for the name, man. Now you got some real currency, current to do something in this world. Some energy, some potency comes from the devotional taste of the holy name in ecstasy and intimacy. See, they are full of envy, and there's still envy of the pure devotees in the Lord. Such a shame. Well, yeah, anyway, this is how this is the Lord's working here. He's got his plan, you know. He'll get him. He gets everybody in the end. So why would I ever leave? I got some good friends who live across the sea. I got a good looking guru who is setting me free. Good looking guru. Hey. Who is setting me free? Hey, she's getting to be a good rapper too, huh? Here in our Sangha, it feels like home. I get everything I need and nothing I don't. See how it works? It's always the same kind of replay. If you know history, you can benefit from it. A lot of people miss Jesus. They missed Lord Chaitanya. You know why? Because they were too simple, too emotional. You know what Jesus said about Jerusalem, the hard-hearted people in Jerusalem, the Pharisees and all that? He said, I ain't coming back here until you can cry. It's right there in the New Testament. I ain't coming back until you can cry. Isn't that an interesting statement? It's true. You know, that's coming back. When the Lord comes back to you personally, that's when you can cry. And when you do cry, crying out for him. See? And then you just cry. That's being born again. You notice you're born physically, you cry when you come out. And when you're born spiritually, you also cry. Yeah, okay. Hare Krishna. Whew. Okay. Hare Krishna. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to Chaitanya. In ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went from Jagannath. After seeing Lord Jagannath, he became. Oops, what's happening here? Ooh. Oh, I see. Okay. Hare Krishna. Ah. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went swiftly to embrace. Oh, in the ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went from Alalanath to the temple of Jagannath. After seeing Jagannath, he became very restless due to love of Godhead. So, Lalita, why don't you read from here a little bit here? I'm going to rest my voice a little bit.
Okay. What verse is it?
Number
5,
three.
3. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. in, ex- in ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went from Attaranala to the temple of Jagannath. after seeing, after seeing Lord Jagannath, he became very restless due, due to love of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went swiftly to embrace Lord Jagannath, but when he entered the temple, he was so overwhelmed with the love of Godhead that he fainted on the floor. And then he fainted on the floor. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he fell down, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he happened to see him when the watchman treated to Peter Lord. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he immediately forbade him. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was very surprised to see the person, the personal beauty of the Lord, of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as well as the transcendental transformations wrought on his body due to love of Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he remained unconscious for a long time. Meanwhile, the time for offering prasada to Lord Jagannath came, and the Bhattacharya, he tried to think of a remedy. While Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was unconscious, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, with the help of the watchman and some disciples, he carried him to his home and he laid him down in a very sanctified room, examining the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma saw that his abdomen was not moving and that he was not breathing. Seeing his condition, the Bhattacharya became very anxious. The Bhattacharya then took a fine cotton swab and put it before before the Lord nostrils. When he saw the cotton move very slightly, he became he became hopeful. Sitting beside Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, he thought, this this is a transcendental, ecstatic transformation brought about by love of Krishna. Upon seeing the sign of Sudipta Sattvika, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya could immediately understand the transcendental ecstatic transformation in the body of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Such a sign takes place only, only in the bodies of eternally liberated devotees. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya considered the uncommon, the uncommon ecstatic symptoms of Adiruddha Bhava are appearing.
This is how the subtle the see this is why it's postgraduate. There's very subtle things going on here. One is, you notice he's talking about um, that he knows about love of Krishna, right? He knows, but he doesn't know. See, he knows, just like these Narayan Raj people, they study all this stuff like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. See, they know these things, but they don't know. See, this is a good example of this. It's like that. That's what I found in group like that. They know, but they don't know. They don't experience. They don't really know how it shows up. And what is their hindrance? Is pride.
Yeah.
See, Sarvabhauma was very proud too. This he could now. So anyway, this is a state of many devotees who are studying in Vaishnavism, and people become impressed, thinking they know, but they don't really know. See, Sarvabhauma was one of those, and he had followers too. He was like a guru, and he had a lot of followers and all this stuff. They thought it was a great pandit and teacher and all that. See, and so that's kind of like how it is. People, they know, but they don't know. And they're still, because there's impersonalism in them. It's even, Prabhupada even said in this purports, and actually at Bhakti, a lot of them, they said there's, in Vaishnavism, there are a lot of impersonalists still at that level. Even though they act like Vaishnavas, they're actually, in their heart, they're not yet Vaishnavas. See, so Sarvabhauma was like that. Now, the redeeming quality of Sarvabhauma, and why the Lord, and this is very important to know about the mercy of the Lord. Sarvabhauma, in spite of his faults like that, he had affection for Lord Chaitanya.
Yeah,
See?
absolutely.
And the Lord considers affection, he's not looking how intelligent you are or anything. That he can take care of. But his affection is what the Lord attracted the Lord to Sarvabhauma. And so he wanted to instruct the Lord because he felt parental affection for the Lord. He wanted to instruct him. And see how this Radha here. Okay, great. Good, thank you.
I thought that he recognized those symptoms because of his affection. That was my understanding.
No, no, no. He just knew the scriptures, and he knew there was something going on in him, And but still, it's like it wasn't clear because people are in a fog in this world. They're foggy. They're not clear. But the main thing is that he had affection for the Lord, whatever, whoever, or whatever it is. Doesn't matter. You could be a bird and or a dog, and somehow you like your master. And if that master is God or a devotee, you get a lot of benefit, lots of benefit, actually. Um, so that's why the Lord sends his devotees, because anybody with a relationship with them, especially with affection, even though they're less intelligent and unintelligent, they benefit. I've seen this so many times. I've seen people I just associate with. I never really preach much, or if I try, they don't. It's kind of like a Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya thing with Lord Shiva. They don't understand much. They just like, what are you talking about, man? I can't relate to this, and all that. But they benefit and they know it. Afterwards, they come and they say, God, things are working out for me. Everything is, God, my life is really good. I mean, I really, literally, I hear this and I know why, because the Lord's thinking, they're unaware of it a lot of times. They're unaware of it and they think, well, the Lord is thinking, oh, you're associating with my one of my intimate servitors. Oh, that means a lot to the Lord. And people just automatically get benefit. They don't even know why. Eh? Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Lilita. Continue on.
Okay. Uh, Very wonderful. How are they possible in the body of a human being?
See, he's considering the Lord human at
Yeah,
that point.
yeah,
Only human. It's the same thing. With a real devotee, you consider them an ordinary human being. They are, but they're not. They're because the divine presence is in them awakened. See, this is what people don't see. They appear ordinary, like because we're human. We've got human bodies and human, but inside them is the awakening, the Lord, the divine presence. See, the divine makes them act in extraordinary ways, with extraordinary intelligence, extraordinary love. See, that's the miracle. The Lord is not concerned with miracles. Like uh, really, that actually just impresses people, and then it's not strong enough to keep them. The Maya will just take people away, put emphasis on, oh, now you can be a big healer or something. You see, and that mixes the bhakti. The extraordinary miracle is this love of God awakening, because it purifies you of everything except that you just want to be with God. You just want to have this intimate relation. You want to be a friend of the Lord.
oh,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Lolita.
yeah. Uh,
Oh, unmute your microphone there, Radhi.
Sorry.
While the Bhattacharya was thinking in this way at his home, all the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, headed by Nityananda Prabhu, approached the Simhadvara, the entrance door of the temple. And there the devotees heard the people talking about the mendicant who had come to Jagannath Puri and seen the deity of Jagannath. The people said that the sannyasa had fallen unconscious upon seeing the deity, upon, upon seeing the deity of Lord Jagannath. And because his consciousness did not return, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had taken him to his home. Hearing this, the devotees could understand that they were speaking of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And just then, Sri Gopiratacharya arrived. Gopiratacharya was a resident of Nadia. the son-in-law of Visarada and the devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He saw the true identity of his lordship. Gopinath Acharya. He had previously been acquainted with Mukunda Datta, and when the Acharya saw him in Jagannath Puri, he was very much astonished.
You see you see how the, the activities of devotees, just like Vishwanath Chakravarti yesterday, I was surprised when I heard that conclusion that that um, uh, that because of his relationship with Mukunda, who was a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, Mukunda was living with Lord Chaitanya and had the grace of the Lord to know the true identity of the Lord. See, because of that relationship with him, Mukunda, he could recognize the true identity of Lord Chaitanya. And that is a secret. You need to associate with a real devotee who has a real transcendental relationship with Lord Chaitanya. And then you can understand the true identity of Lord Chaitanya. See, which you can only do by relish, by awakening transcendental taste. Otherwise, you don't know. This is the great secret that light is still forthcoming in light. They know but don't know. See? They know, and the way they will prove they know is when they come and approach a real devotee and associate with them more and learn from that devotee who Lord Chaitanya really is. See, otherwise you can't know, and that's where the idea of us being submissive to hearing from devotees. Because if you don't, if you're challenging and all that, well, you have to get through that, because the idea is Vaishnava means submission to other Vaishnavas. It's just natural. They have this. You see, these qualities are developing here. You natural submission to real devotees. If not, Krishna will come along and kick you in the butt. Move you along. So that's it. And so because of his relationship with Mukunda, he could recognize the transcendental identity of Lord Chaitanya. How does that show up now in 2022? See, that's what people need to ask. How does it show up now to recognize the identity of the Lord? Well, when you read these pastimes and you have feelings like River and Lalita Ganga awakened, that's because they understand the transcendental identity of the Lord, which increases more and more. This is proof. Proof is in proof of the work of the Lord doing that. How did they get that? Well, I guess they just, according to their actions and activities and results, they're associating with a real associate of the Lord. They can call, like, this guy Goharya Sahaja and all this stuff, but because of that, look at them now. They didn't seem to have these qualities before, where they could laugh and cry and enjoy these transcendental books to the extent they do now. That means they're recognizing the true identity of Lord Chaitanya. You see how it shows? Even though the Lord isn't personally present, well, he is, I guess, huh? In the unseen, he's behind the bushes somewhere. But you can recognize the Lord in the book. It means your heart is being purified. Blessed are the pure in heart. Blessed are the purified in heart. They shall see God. You see him. That's his form. That book is him. There's no difference. That book, he considers, this is my very self, is this book. What did Prabhupada say? Even as a devotee, he said, "I will live forever in my books." There's no difference between the book and Prabhupada. I know that personally. I experienced that. His name, I experienced it. There's no difference between the name of Jesus, Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta. That's why I like to, associate with devotees. You get that benefit, that boon. You can associate by mantra. It's no difference having. What's the difference if the Lord appears here physically and you get ecstatic? What's the difference if he appears here in his name and you get ecstatic? Same thing, right? So the main thing is to get ecstatic. I mean, look at Krishna. He appeared to the washermen in 10th canto, and he hated Krishna. But here he's appearing in mantra, and you're getting ecstatic, and feelings of love and devotion are waking in your heart. Well, I think that's even better. You're lucky you're born now and not in the 10th canto as the washerman. He hated Krishna, got his head cut off, stopped him from talking, and shut him up. He said, I'm a servant of Kamsa. Who I ain't going to give you diddly squat. Yeah. Go ahead there, Lalita.
Mukundadatta offered obeisances unto Gopinath Acharya upon meeting him. And then the Acharya, he embraced Mukundadatta and he inquired about news of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mukunda replied, the Lord has already arrived here. We have come with him as soon as Gopinath Acharya saw Nityananda Prabhu. He offered his obeisances. He offered his obeisances unto him in this way, meeting all the devotees.
You know,
He
this is why you have to be in sadhu sangha. What is that actually? What's really happening in sadhu sangha? What's going on in a real sadhu sangha? Well, you got three things going on there. You got real devotees. You got sat, the eternal body of a devotee, right? And you also have chit. You have real conclusive understanding. And you also have ananda. How can you not be purified when you have that going? You get the Lord gives the chit as it is knowledge, and he gives the ecstasy. Here you can see devotees are in different moods. Some are really conclusive, preaching in that mood, and some are very ecstatic and changing the things. So that's why purification happens in sadhu sangha, because the three potencies are here. And this is the only way to practically get purified quickly. Otherwise, you're taking all these pathetic paths. I mean, it's the same preaching now is in force. This is the law now. The law of the land all over the globe now. The law of the land is Satchidananda. The law of the land is everything is pathetic in comparison to being in sadhu sangha where Sat Chit Ananda is manifested. God, look at the intelligence you can get. Look at the clarity that you can get. Look at the logic that's presented here. Look at the ecstatic, emotional, pure feelings of loving God that are here. Come on, where else can you get such a opulent situation? Can you imagine? Look, she's always trying to cover these kinds of things. And we're at war now. It's an info war, man. We're uncovering it just with the truth. The truth will set people free. That's why until you get purified enough to listen to good advice from God, literally through his real dear intimate associates, you're on some slow path, man. You're blind still. You come here, you get eyes to see what's really important, even. Yeah. The heart to feel what's really important, this relationship with God, to feel to taste this name, to have that, the spiritual taste awakened that practically nobody has and knows about. This enables us to understand the inconceivable God, that nobody knows. Just the God, the great mystery. The spiritual taste reveals the true nature of God. There's no other way to know the Lord. Otherwise, you may even be a hypocrite. You say, "Oh yeah, I'm into Christian everything," but you still have hatred in your heart for God. See, that's why the devotees are here, to help people get purified of that so they can also relish the true nature of God. You need awakened spiritual senses. Otherwise, it's like some foreign place in some that you've never seen before. That's what devotees look like. It's like, where are they? What kind of land are they experiencing? What is going on inside them? Well, you want to know, you just come into a society of devotees and get purified, like River was saying and thing. She's been purified. She went through the purification. See, this is the baptism by fire. Literally, thing you burn up in your heart. I'm sure people coming here now, they feel sometimes their heart is burning. Well, that's burning up all your karma, all your obstacles. To have such a fire stoked, and the wood is your karma. We ignite the fire, and your karma is the wood. All that bullshit and the ideas and anarthas and hatreds and envies and all that is being thrown in the fire. This is the sacrifice. Damn, what comes out of that? When Mars Pritu was doing a fire sacrifice, what's that about? See, they have all the ingredients. See, this is all external teachings of the internal situation. They have all these woods, and everything. They throw it in the fire, right? It burns. And what came from that? Oh, the Lord appeared. See? What we're doing here is better than a million of those kind of fire sacrifices, which were considered the greatest things. Daksha was into those kind of fire sacrifices. But we can do the fire sacrifice of Shiva, like he did in Bhagavatam. See? The wood was the false ego of Daksha, and those millions of demigods were thrown in the fire of sacrifice of associating by the attraction of hatred with an envy and jealousy of Lord Shiva. It created this fire, friction, ignited the fire. And what came from that? Krishna, the real God. And that happens here. You come into this sacrifice and your karma is the wood, your anarthas are the wood. That's all that's required. Just come and associate. I just tell you, people ask me, what can I do to be a Raganuga Bhakti? Just come and hang out, man. Come and be with these fantastic devotees. Let the fire get stoked and get it hot, man. And burn up all that stuff that you couldn't burn up in millions of lifetimes. And proof is you start to feel very deeply attracted to Lord Chaitanya and Radha and Krishna and their pastimes and their names and the devotees. And you feel at home here. See, after the fire is stoked, and everything is nice and warm and toasty, you feel, this is home. I found home. You don't need a physical place. All you need is association with those who love the Lord, truly. Go ahead, Lolita.
Mukunda Datta continued. After accepting the sannyasa order, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to Jagannath Puri. And he has brought all of us with him. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left our company and he walked ahead to see Lord Jagannath. We have just arrived and we are now looking for him. From the talk of the people in general, we have guessed that the Lord is now at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
This is one of the best rasas. My God, you can't. I'm trying to take some Z's and I can't do it. Yeah, this is one of the best. Is looking for the Lord. You ever notice that? Like it's like, where is the Lord? It's like it gives you the impotence. Like especially if you've been doing duties and stuff like that, you start thinking, oh, I want to go associate with God. I want to go associate with His. So you pull up His name. You call Him up, right? Now you know what Jesus knew. The kingdom of God is within at hand. See, it's at hand. All right, Hare Krishna, there he is. That association. See, looking for the Lord is a ras, because the unions and separations. See, so uh, yeah. So I want to let it burn. I really feel this burning away of my false identification and perceptions of illusion. And every day the fire continues to be stoked and become like a living fireplace.
Wow. Wow.
That's great, man. Go ahead, Lolita.
Lord Chaitanya, he left our company and he walked ahead to see Lord Jagannath. We have just arrived and are now we are now looking for him. From the talk of the people in general, we have guessed that the Lord is now at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Upon seeing Lord Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became ecstatic and he fell unconscious. The Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has taken him to his home in this condition. Just as I was thinking of meeting you by chance, we have actually met. First, let's all go. Let's all go to the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Later we shall come to see Lord Jagannath. Hearing this, I'm feeling very pleased. Gopinath Acharya, he immediately took all the devotees with him and he approached the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Arriving at the home of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, everyone saw the Lord laying, laying unconscious. Seeing him in this condition, Gopinath Acharya became very unhappy. But at the same time, he was very happy to see the Lord. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya permitted all the devotees to enter his house, and upon seeing Nityananda Prabhu, the Bhattacharya offered him obeisances. Sarvabhauma met with all the devotees and he offered them a proper welcome. They were all pleased. They were all pleased to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Bhattacharya then sent them all back to see Lord Jagannath, and he asked his own son Chandrakshekhara to accompany them as a guide. Everyone was very pleased to see the deity of Lord Jagannath, Lord Nityananda in particular. Lord Nityananda in particular, he was overwhelmed with ecstasy. And when Lord Nityananda Prabhu nearly fainted, All the devotees caught him and steadied him. At that time, the priest of Lord Jagannath, he brought a garland that, that had been offered to the deity, and he offered it to Nityananda Prabhu. Everyone was pleased to receive this garland worn by Lord Jagannath. Afterwards, they all returned to the place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying. All of the devotees that began to loudly chant the Hare Krishna mantra. And just before noon, the Lord regained his consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he got up and very loudly he chanted, Hare, Hare. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very pleased to see the Lord regain consciousness, and he took the dust. He took the dust of the Lord's lotus feet. The Bhattacharya informed all of them, please take your midday baths immediately. Today I shall offer you Mahaprasada, the remnants of food offered to Lord Jagannath after bathing in the sea. After bathing in the sea, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees returned very soon. The Lord then he washed his feet and he sat down on a carpet to take lunch. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he made arrangements to bring various kinds of Mahaprasad from the Jagannath temple. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then accepted lunch with great happiness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was offered special rice and first class vegetables on golden plates, and he took lunch in the company of his devotees. While Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya personally distributed the prasada, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested him, please give me only boiled vegetables. You can offer the cakes and other preparations made with condensed milk to all the devotees. Hearing this, the Bhattacharya folded his hands and he spoke as follows. Today, all of you, please try to taste. Please try to taste the lunch just as Lord Jagannath accepted it. After saying that, he made them all eat the various cakes and condensed milk preparations. After feeding them, he offered them water to wash their hands. their feet and mouths, begging permission from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees. Sarvabhauma and Bhattacharya then went to Gopinath Acharya to take lunch. After finishing their lunch, they returned to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, offering his obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, Namo Narayana. I offer my obeisances to Narayana. He returned. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Krishna Bhatir Astu, let your attention be on Krishna.
I like that. Hey, River, you want to read a little bit? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Lalita. That was awesome.
I don't know what chapter or verse in the Madhya Lila you're reading from.
She'll tell you.
I muted myself. Wait.
Okay.
Madhya Lila, chapter 6,
Okay.
verse 49. I read verse 49.
Okay. Okay. Oh. Next one. Sorry, 49 or 50? Did you say you read 49? Oh. Can you hear me, Maharaj? I can't hear anybody. Can you hear me, Tom?
Yeah, we hear you good. It's oh, I see, Lalita. I don't know what verse she told you. What
She
verse?
said 49. I
Okay,
think
then
I'll
read
start.
it.
49.
Yeah,
Okay.
read. Yeah, good.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj. Hearing these words, Sarvabhauma understood Lord Chaitanya to be a Vaishnava sannyasi. Sarvabhauma then said to Gopinath Acharya, I want to know I want to know Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's previous situation. Okay. I don't know what's happened, but anyway. Gopinath Acharya replied, there was a man named Jagannath who was a resident of Navadvip and whose surname was Mishra. Pundara. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the son of that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the son of that Jagannath Mishra. And his former name was Vishwambar Mishra. He also happens to be the grandson of Nilambara Chakravarti. The Bhattacharya said, Nilambara Chakravarti was a classmate of my father. Mahavira Visharada. I knew him as such. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jagannath Mishra Pundara was respected by my father. That's because because of their relationship with my father, I respect both Jagannath Mishra, and Nilambara Chakravarti. Hearing that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belonged to the Nadia district, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became very pleased and addressed the Lord as follows. You are naturally respectable. Besides, you are a sannyasi. Thus, I wish to become your personal servant. As soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this from the Bhattacharya, he immediately remembered Lord Vishnu and began to speak humbly to him as follows. Because you are a teacher of Vedanta philosophy, you are the master of all the people in the world and their well-wisher as well. You are also the benefactor of all kinds of sannyasi. Excuse me. I am a young sannyasi, and I actually have no knowledge of what is good and what is bad. Therefore, I am taking shelter of you and accepting you as my spiritual master. I am a young sannyasi, and I actually have no knowledge of what is good and what is bad. Therefore, I am taking shelter of you and accepting you as my spiritual master. I have come here only to associate with you, and I am now taking shelter of you. Will you kindly maintain me in all respect? I have come here only to associate with you, and I am now taking shelter of you. Will you kindly maintain me in all respects? The incident that happened today was the incident that happened today was a great obstacle for me, but you have kindly relieved me of it. The Bhattacharya replied, do not go alone to see the deity at the Jagannath temple. It is better that you go with me or my men. The Lord said, I shall never enter the temple, but shall always view the Lord from the side of the Garuda Stamba. The Lord said, I shall never enter the temple, but shall always view the Lord from the side of the Garuda Stamba. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Bhattacharya then told Gopinath Acharya, take Goswamiji and show him Lord Jagannath. Excuse me.
You know, the Lord said, I shall never enter the temple. I will view it from the side. You know, that's pretty significant. You notice how people, um, unless you're of like Indian nature, you're not allowed to enter the temple of Jagannath. You know, they have this thing that you have to be qualified. You have to see. So in a sense, it's the Lord is kind of like saying, like, actually, I'm not even. I don't go in that temple. See, I'm not. I don't really see. He's really in the devotees. See, that's the temple that he's really in. Otherwise, he's just kind of seeing from the side, from outside. See, he was outside the temple from the Garuda Stamba out there. You know, I shall never enter the temple, and otherwise, you know, people's hearts have to change. Even I heard Jesus actually went to Jagannath Puri, and he used to preach against this. You know, this idea: what people can't go in and see God. What is this? See, that's a devotee. See, these are not real devotees. This is the thing. That's why people they leave religion. They stop believing in God because these are their representatives. They show there's a disconnection. Oh, you're Indian. You're not Indian. You can't go in the temple. You know, you don't have a relationship. We do. See, that's not really how God really works. I mean, this transcendental Lord, he doesn't view us like this. See? But that's what the world, people are separatists still. They don't understand these subtle things, So the Lord enters our temple. See, this is the real temple here. See, and gives us the right understanding. See? Uh, so yeah, so he stays outside those kind of temples, really. Yeah. Okay, go ahead there, River. Read on.
Maharaj, do you think that because it seems like it all started from India, because that's what I'm only speaking about how black people weren't allowed into all the different white places back in the day. It still happens now. So it kind of all started from there, really, didn't it?
Well, no, it's just separatism, not feeling a relationship, not feeling like, see, in the higher consciousness, uh, you feel a relationship with all living entities. We're all family. This thing with this, you're not a Brahmin, you can't go in and get. See, they don't know how God works and how he thinks is the problem. And it's the same thing even all the way up into religion. They don't know how God is really thinking, why he comes, like why is he coming to us and not really them, not any of them really. You see, if he's coming to us, then we're going to have that nature of the Lord manifesting in us, which is the Satchitananda. See, so that's the real Lord. See, but it's because of separatism and pride, and religion is like they call sectarian. Um, it's just so. Anyway, those who have real devotion can begin to see this kind of things, and those who don't, they still act like separatists. They think they're better than others. See, this is that's pride. We're better than others. That's why real devotees don't feel. I don't feel I'm better than anybody. I feel like I'm like anybody. But what's in me is better than me. It's better than all of us. That's yeah, and we're meant to have that. That what is better in us, and that makes us better. Better persons. Better speakers. Better understanders of truth, better everything. So we need that better to live in us. Otherwise, we're cripple-minded. They use that term a lot in Vaishnavism. I'm just a cripple-minded householder. Cripple, just can't think straight, illogical, bad, can't understand anything properly. See, so the Lord wants to come and give us understanding, real happiness, real knowledge. See? What did God say in the Bible? My people are being destroyed because of lack of understanding, lack of knowledge. See, therefore Bhagavad Gita 10:10 comes to save the day. Well, of course, if you have somebody who can read that properly and understand and not read it cross-eyed, to those who worship Krishna or God with loving ecstasy, I give them the understanding. Oh, go listen to them. I give them real knowledge. Go hear from them, right? I mean, just that's good logic, isn't it? You understand the verse as it is and how to apply it in this world. Isn't that what it's all about? Not, look at me, I'm big, renounced sannyasi, man. I know everything but how to apply these verses in the Bhagavatam. Like, oh yeah, to go to those who have demonstrate that they have loving, ecstatic, pure worship of God, that their hearts are purified by that worship. They have the real understanding. Let me go and get directions from them. Why am I asking inexperienced people who don't know the real direction back to Vrindavan? Only the devotee can direct you to Vrindavan. Why? Because they're in Vrindavan. They're Vrindavan is within and at hand for them. They call it up and chant the Lord's name and feel ecstatic association with God, intimate association. What is so hard to understand? What's hard to understand is not hearing from a real devotee. Otherwise, you'll never understand properly. You go to all these people who they depend on pomp and pride and props to preach, and their preaching is not very good. I was in the Narayan Raj group for a year and a half, and I couldn't see the result, the desired result of love of God. They're talking blah, blah, blah about it, but no result. Just nice devotee, nice, respectful, but inside, not always so respectful. There's a lot of stuff going on in a lot of those persons, and they were just, like hiding it with a veneer of etiquettes.
Yeah.
And it all broke out, after he left. It just all comes out. All the fights and everything. You see, you can't. You can fool yourself, and you can fool beginners, but you can't fool those who have the mercy of the Lord. Not for very long. I mean, even the residents of Vrindavan were fooled by Putana. She was good. There's a lot of good, slick persons in Vaishnavism that are fooling everybody like Putana. She wasn't the real Vrindavan resident. Just like these guys, they're not really the real Vrindavan. They look like it, they act like it, but don't really act like it. It's just like her. She was acting like it, looking like it, but her heart was not purified. But eventually she became a devotee just like all of these persons in all these Vaishnava Sanghas. They will become also. That's the Lord's mercy. And that brings me up to Lalita's question, where she came across something she thought was inconclusive. Only one must have many pious deeds before they become the mercy recipient, right? What is this pious? Yeah, because that they mention that a lot. Only a person with many pious deeds can get the mercy of the Lord. Many pious deeds. But so basically, what that is that's what you call the mode of goodness, and into pious deeds brings you into a pious situation. Also, there's piety that leads you more than that. It leads you closer to Krishna, like in Vaishnavism. Prabhupada knew this. He said, well, let us get people worshiping Krishna. Of course, they're not purified. Of course, a lot of them want to become gurus. They want to drink the donkey urine. Of course. But let them go on pilgrimage, let them go see this, and let them go, gradually by and by. This kind of piety can lead to ultimately getting the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Kind of like Sarvad Bhaumadat got. He got the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. If you can develop affection for devotees, if say you studied religion and all that, then that kind of piety will get you here. But you can also get this mercy by the left-handed path. The left-handed is you don't not pious at all, but you're suffering because of your impiety. So a lot of people come that way, maybe more even, because when you're suffering, you're looking for a way out, right? You're looking. There's hope. If you find somebody preaching the truth, and actually, if you develop faith in their word, you can be lifted out of this by the word. See, it's all lip service. See, but you got to hear from lip service from an empowered person, empowered by the divine potency. See, that kind of lip service will lift you out. Not lip service from those who don't have the real potency, don't know what it is. Yeah, go ahead, River. Continue.
Okay, thank you. Also, the apartment belonging to my maternal aunt is in a very solitary place. please make all arrangements for him to stay there. Thus, Gopinath took Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the to the residential quarters and showed him where to find water, tubs, tubs and water pots. Indeed, he arranged everything. The next day, Gopinath Acharya took Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to see the early rising of Lord Jagannath. Gopinath Acharya then took Mukunda Datta with him and went to Sarvabhauma's house. When they arrived, Sarvabhauma addressed Mukunda Datta as follows. The sannyasi is very meek and humble by nature, and his person is very beautiful to see. Consequently, my affection for him increases. From which sampradaya has he accepted the sannyasi order, and what is his name? Gopinath Acharya. Gopinath Acharya replied, the Lord's name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And his sannyasi preceptor is the greatly fortunate Keshava Bharati. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, Sri Krishna is a very good name, but he belongs to the Bharati community. Therefore, he is a second-class sannyasi. I don't understand that, Maharaj. Okay. Gopinath Acharya replied, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not rely on any external formality. There is no need for him to accept. There is no need for him to accept the sannyasi order from a superior sampradaya.
Yeah. Hey, Karuna, will you stop saying these foul words? What is going on with you, man? Why are you doing that? Learn from Facebook. They kicked you off there. Don't do that. Yeah. So what don't you understand? Did you understand it?
The verse 72, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, Sri Krishna is a very good name, but he belongs to the Bharati community. Therefore, he is a second-class sannyasi.
Yeah, they had the Bharati thing. They had different classes of sannyas. They were into class. This class stuff. Analyzing things according to class. Yeah. So the main thing is like now it's like there's a new way to discern things is who's a devotee, who actually has real devotion. And otherwise we just you don't need to separate all these material classes anymore, so much. Here it's like, hey, let's just be all be devotee brothers and sisters with real bhakti. Let's be part of that family. Whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is 74. The Bhattacharya inquired, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in his full-fledged youthful life. How can he how can he keep the principles of sannyas? I shall continuously recite Vedanta philosophy before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Can you see why they had so much trouble in ISKCONs and all that? These guys took sannyas at full-fledged, I mean, like 25, 30 years old, even 40 years, they take sannyas before and they become hypocrites, and they have to lie and cheat and for what? To preach what? What to preach and get people ultimately they get burnt out or you fall away. And so even see back then he knew this even as what are you in your full fledged? What are you doing this for? Anyway, Prabhupada wanted to disband the sannyas thing because he found it didn't work. All he did, the people were falling down and making fools of themselves. And then most of them got married anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I shall continuously recite Vedanta philosophy before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so that he may remain fixed in his renunciation and thus enter upon the path of monism.
Yeah, that's a Brahman, like Brahman stuff. Brahman realized monism, the oneness, be one with God. Kind of what they preach: one love, one God, oneness. Let us merge with God. It's all one God, one energy.
Okay. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya then suggested, if Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would like, I could bring him into a first-class sampradaya.
See, people they can't see the nature of devotees and devotion. Look, even God was there. He couldn't do it's even now. What's the difference now? People can't see the glories of what real devotees are. And real devotion, they're all thinking high class, low class, second class, third class. This guy's sannyasi, this guy, and everybody's more or less the same. They're all in Maya, more or less. Only when you become a real devotee are you protected by the spiritual potency. You have the clarity of the spiritual potency. That's why people you want to get out, man. You're gonna have to take shelter of real devotees. These simpletons here, have the real shelter. These simpletons have the mushroom hold over them of Govardhan Hill, the pastimes, because they can taste and relish these things. This is where the shelter is. People will come to know this at this time. It's a great opportunity for people. Sometimes they got to be squeezed and show that the Lord shows his Maya is terrible. Especially people for a while, like the demigods, they're having a great time and everything, and then sometimes the fire of devastation comes, and then or they run out of their karma or something, or the demons come and conquer them. Even in the heavenly planet, the demons sometimes come periodically and take over, just like they're doing now. The demons are taking over. You notice they're coming in, they want to put their one world society in, draconian, make you a nice little slave, put a collar on you literally and control you. They have all these plans. I mean, that's what they're, God save us now. Save our bodies anyway. Our souls are saved, but So the Lord, that's what his Maya does. And so people get too comfortable here. They think it's always going to be, oh, I have my nice house. You know how materialism is. You see how they are in Belgium and UK, and they think, oh man, I got a nice house, everything good, government's kind of good to me, more or less. I can just relax now and kick back and don't have to become self-realized. I don't even know that exists. I'm just going to be and enjoy and live in the world and have a family and and go out to the pub, and have a few drinks and watch football. And people do just that kind of stuff. And then this comes along. All of a sudden, you can't be so comfortable anymore. Now you may start thinking, is there a way out for me? Well, this is it, man. Come relish mellows. Come here and taste this bhakti. Come here and feel God's transcendental presence, and you'll feel protected from that. You'll be happy in the midst of this. In this happiness, I mean, isn't this great? It's like a party, And what's going on? Then you look at all the people. Everybody is in fear now. So many people. They look at it. Facebook. People are in fear. They're going to lose their money, or they're in fear that that they're going to be found out. These demons. They're afraid too. Everything is like kind of fear energy, and this you rise right above the fear. The vibration is like. It bounces off. What do you think? This is the only thing that this kind of thing can really purify the planet, because we're in real knowledge, and real emotional transcendental happiness, which is the highest vibration. It's not even of this world. Jesus talked about it. He said, I'm not of this world. His vibration was not of this world. Our vibration is not either. See, this is what's keeping some kind of purification in this world, is this kind of worship. This brings the Lord. See, when we're worshiping the name of God in ecstasy, the Lord is drawn here. What else is going to draw him here? He's on the outside. He's in the inside, on the outside of people, and he is on the inside just looking. He's not really interacting. He's not really here yet. He's here, but not here. See, this is but then devotees start worshiping him. He's just drawn from the spiritual dimension into this world. Manifests this knowledge that only he knows, and his devotees in the spiritual world know. This is why when Krishna said, I'm going to go, but where is going to be the shelter of my understanding, my knowledge, my love? Where's the shelter? Uddhava. See, he left it with Uddhava. Okay? Just like he's leaving this with us, where it's not in the religious, I couldn't find this shelter, this real true Lord, even amongst in the Narayana. They couldn't draw it in. The ISKCON couldn't draw it in. Nobody could draw it in. Yeah, some Christians, I was a little impressed. They could draw the presence of God. It's tangible. Feel it if you're open and sensitive. Okay? So that's our work here, is bringing God here. What do you think? These Satanists, these people that are running the world, they're worshiping Lucifer. They want to bring Lucifer here in this world. They really do. That's what their worship is to bring Lucifer here, to bring the demons here. They want them to come through in here and manifest. Wow, what do you think we're doing? We're bringing God here. The Lord is stronger. That's our work, bringing the Lord. They're worshiping, we're worshiping. And they think you're fools. If you don't worship some deity, some God, you don't have any strength in this world. That's what they think. They're actually, in a sense, learning how to worship the true God. That's why I say some of them will, maybe this, this Sangha, Lord Chaitanya's grace place, maybe they got more power than we got. Maybe we should switch sides. I'm telling you, this is special. This is not common. What's going on here? We're doing battle. You know what Paul said, dealing this is a war of principalities. This is even more so now. It wasn't manifest to the extent of that then. That's why now the power of heaven that Jesus was talking, predicting in the Vedas is happening now. And this is happening now. More power, more spiritual power. It's a real big battle. Wonderful time. This is, you think the Battle of Kurukshetra was big. Well, hey, man, here we go again. And it's done. Just like you see, this war is not with the kinetic, with the bombs and all that. It's subtle, isn't it? Isn't it a subtle war? See, they don't know how subtle it is. These guys. This is even more subtle than beyond their comprehension. Even the controllers of the world, you know, the demons. See, it's again, man. It's repeat. Rerun, but in a little nicer, you know, very artistic way. You know, you say, yeah, this is going to go down in history, man. What we're doing is a historical thing. It really is. I'm not lying, man. I'm not exaggerating either. It sounds like, I mean, anybody from the outside think, oh boy, you know, even that one guy is starting to come. He said, oh, you're saying all these things, you know, what is this? Who else is, you know, I mean, I was looking for where's the spiritual power that was more than that was manifesting inside here. You know, I couldn't find it. So it must be working through our Sangha. You know, something really special, something really important for the world. You know, a nice contribution. You know, I mean, who else is going to do it? I mean, I'm looking for where's some potency to overturn what's going on, if there's some possibility. You know, I don't see it in the New Age. I don't see it on those guys, and I don't see it in Alex Jones. You know, he's really like, oh yeah, we're gonna win. Yeah, I don't see it in him. The power. I don't see it in David Icke. You know, I don't see him the power to do it. You know, it's not enough. You know what it is? Why he doesn't? These guys don't, because their realization isn't like what's here. This realization is better than what I've seen in the Raj group, in the Radhakund Babajis, in ISKCON, anywhere, in Buddhism, in Eckhart Tolle. I've explored these things, you know? So the realization and the understanding is so potent here, you know? And that is what keeps the Lord. See, what did Jesus say? While I'm in this world, I'm the light of this world. See, so our consciousness manifested in Sadhu Sangha here is a strong light for the direction of humanity, that better than I've seen anywhere. It's like the understanding of the book manifested, you know, in living. It's not just staying in the book because people are speculating. No, we're bringing that through into the world. That real knowledge, that real understanding, that real ecstasy that you saw Lord Caitanya, you know, we're reading about here. You know, look at your experience. As you're reading it, you're relishing it. It's amazing. Where do you see that? Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere. Is it? Nowhere. Yeah. As you're hearing it and reading it, nowhere is it seen. It's a war of transcendental words. Yeah, ecstatic prema is emanating. Yeah, it's not strong enough, the Vaidhi, to conquer over this illusion. You notice a lot of them are going down. So you have to be very deeply intimate with God to bring, so much so that the Lord is drawn into this world, and He has all power. This is why the Pandavas won. It was their relationship with the Lord that drew him into the battle. You notice? Why do you think the Lord says, I'm not going to fight? I'm just going to drive Arjuna's chariot. He's going to fight. See? But because of their love, they won the battle. If there's going to be a winner in this battle, it's going to be because of the strength of our bhakti, of our love for God. Really. That's the only thing that'll win this battle, is the devotee's love for the Lord. You know? And the Lord is manifesting so much mercy here for the devotees. Yeah, the real exodus, isn't it? Yeah, leading. Yeah, Yes, this is this. I mean, I was looking. Where is a spiritual consciousness like manifesting here? Nowhere. Think about it. You probably investigated a little bit. You didn't see this in ISKCON or anywhere. You know, this conscious. It's a consciousness. It's subtle but powerful, and get more and more real. See, more and more manifest in sadhu sangha. Okay? That's why the sages, they said, we're going to just, we found a proper speaker. We're going to just, of all our activities, we think the best one is just to sit down here and discuss the absolute truth. Okay? What we're doing here. I told the person, he's saying, oh, I don't need to. I said, you should look what we're doing here. Really look. Why are we coming here every day? It must be something special. Every day. If we can make it. There must be something really attractive here. Because nobody's forced to. You don't have to come. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Actually, you know what? I think maybe, why don't we take a little break for a while? Is it 2 hours, 20? Yeah, it's a couple hours, 2.5 hours. It's a short class today. Yeah. If anybody wants to go on, you can go on. Rest of them do some things. Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you for coming. Oh, wait. Give us a word, somebody. Who wants to speak first? Go for it. Go ahead there.
I have some questions. In class today, I was talking about going through purification and actually talking about it as I was going through it. I can see that Krishna is pushing things out of me that I've taken on board. Like, I'll give you an example. My mother's voice is coming out of me.
Oh.
Her voice is coming out, and I really don't like it. And I know Krishna's doing it. And because I'm like, I don't want to do this. And he's just pushing this voice out of me. Really annoying Karuna, because he's not used to that kind of voice. So he's bringing things out of him as well at the same time. So that's why
I can tell.
Yeah, bringing things out, and he does try to pacify himself with with alcohol. It's not. I don't think it's really great, but the only reason why I can do it is because of having Krishna in here, doing exactly what you say, by coming here every day, by growing with Krishna. I want to grow up, Maharaj. I've always wanted to grow up, acting like a bloody child. I want to grow up and being able to grow up with Krishna, having my safety, and just wanting to give that to others. It's just my life. That's my life. And it was so nice as well today. He was talking about some things, and I spoke about exactly the same things, using practically the same words that you have just been using. I've spoken about the shelter of Govardhan. That was one of them. So I can see how Krishna is working through us, working through me, and I'm not used to it as much. Well, I'm used to it more than before, much more.
Right.
But Krishna puts me in a place where it seems so real to get that stuff out of me.
Yeah.
Then I don't like him. I don't like you, Krishna, because it seems real. And then I go in class, I read, I come here, I'm pacified. The burning is stopped. I've been sweating a lot, so I know things have been coming out. Today, but it's like purifying in a sense, not so much in a dramatic way like I used to before. Maybe a little, but it's really working. And and you're gonna may tell me off. It'd be nice just to have a few weeks without it. He's doing it, yes, honestly, but he's just doing it really fast. Really fast. And without this, I'd be nothing. You just want to run away and hide, and there's no way to run away and hide. You've just got to show yourself, get real and be pacified, show the path and speak the path. And it's nice to be able to do that and be real and show others because the same thing is happening to others, but they don't have the shelter.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to do. So thank you very much. It's all because of you. You know, your my life is a glorification to you because of this gifts that you give us. But I just don't like it when I get angry with Krishna. I don't like that about myself. Because I know he's laughing at me, actually.
Mhm.
Really. But I don't know if I really know that. But anyway, thank you very much, Ma.
Yeah, you're welcome. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Lilita, give us a word.
Needs to be spontaneous, Guru Maharaj.
Something nice. Put people on the spot sometimes.
You know, I overcame something. The Belgium devotees, they come together today, and I really feel very tired these last days, and I really thank them. Even I said thank you, but I'm too tired, and I know somebody doesn't like it, but I don't want to give toegeven aan mijn schuldgevoelens. Hoe zeg ik dat in het Engels? I don't want to allow the guilt feelings to be the boss. Is that
Yeah.
how
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah,
say? No, it's,
yeah. That's that mode of goodness thing,
yeah.
yeah, it's like
I'm not
people.
doing it.
Yeah, you're not
Even
doing.
not for devotees, because I'm really very tired, and then I wouldn't enjoy it. Krishna wouldn't enjoy it either.
That's
So
right. Yeah,
they
yeah,
want my association, but they wouldn't have a lot of pleasure on me because I'm. So
yeah, yeah.
I said no, thank you.
Well, that's the way I am. I'm like that.
Yeah, I'm happy that I could do it yesterday.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that
Was
you
difficult, but I kept on doing
kept
it.
on doing it. That's great. Yeah. Well, you know the result of the old way. Never all you did was get burnt out. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, now it's about, that's how you protect Krishna. Your energy is like, when you need to kind of recharge or something, you just go and recharge, just trust that. Yeah.
Spontaneous and real, and yeah,
Yeah.
I learned it here.
What
So
else?
this Tom.
Tom. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, also thanks for the invitation, but I didn't go to Beveren. Last night I dreamt about you. It was my second dream. The first dream was with the fitting shoes, and this one was the
Shoes.
second. And um, there were lumps of bread, of dry bread, old bread, and there were cartons, and you put it water on it. Yes,
Oh.
and then you are very enthusiastic. Yes, let's do this. And we had to saw with a saw, make lumps of it. And um, there were not many people engaging in this process.
Ah.
Um, but I did. Yes, I started because I started sawing these lumps, and um, so there were old lumps of dry bread and cartons, and they were very dry, and you watered it,
Hmm.
and then I had to make to chop it to make to saw it. I didn't know the meaning of this, but while I was listening to the class, I got some kind of understanding of what it means. But maybe you can add some meaning.
I don't know. I'm a little bit tired, so I'll think about it a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, great. All right. Thank you, everybody. Let's see. What do we got here? Anybody here? Say, let's see. You just rest up, Lolita. Yes. They just love you and want to see you because you are so wonderful. Oh, yes. She is. Lolita is so wonderful. Isn't she so amazing? She is fantastic. She's our shining star here. Yeah. Just the morning star. Thank you, Lolita, for being who you are. Okay. That's right. I know who's asked to kiss. You don't. You see, see, Karuna says I'm an ass kisser. Yeah, I mean, I know who to give the apple to. I'm smart. I'm not a dummy like you. See? He's dumb. He doesn't see. He's an idiot. You got to know who to give the apple to, man. You know, the right person, man. Hey, man, I kiss her feet, man, because hey, man, she's in close with the big woman and big man, man. I teach by example. That's it. I see River. She made a lot of progress from having, her dialogues and having a hero like her, man. So hey, live and learn, Karuna. Check your signal a little bit later, anyway, too. After Karuna, check. I got a thing here for you. Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody.